And we're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. Welcome back, fam, to the Threshold Agenda. I'm your host, G. Chrome Awesome. Half of me today, once again, Allie, the PR.
Guess who's back? Hype got up.
Yeah.
Hype got up. Hype.
Oh. You was under the weather recently, huh? You still
I'm still there.
Still there? And you still came back.
Yeah, I'm gonna come out on top.
I heard that.
Regardless.
I heard that. Well, I just want to thank God that every one of us who's that can hear me is in the land of the living still, and we have another chance to do better than we did yesterday. Allie the PR. What's on your mind today?
Listen, I'm just gonna go get right to it. So I'm on Facebook scrolling, and every now and then, I see somebody say something that I might be able to comment on because I want to engage. I want people to engage with me. I'm trying to engage with them. So most of the time, like maybe once a day, I'll just intentionally scroll and see if there's something that I can, engage with my people on my Facebook. So I ran across a old friend. She has some issues with her mother passed away a few years ago, and she visits her grave and she be talking to her and stuff like that. But she saw a video of a young lady said that is all. Excuse me, my voice is gone. Okay, yeah. The young lady said that's she's wasting her time. Like the dead doesn't hear you, and you're going to the grave like you're stupid for doing that. And she was like, "What do y'all think? Like, what does God say?" And I said, "Ooh, I jumped all in there."
Uh-oh.
Well, I jumped in to her DM because I didn't want to start the debate with the other people's.
Right.
Because that starts stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a very interesting conversation. It was probably about 10, 15 minutes, which is a long time in text, text world. But basically, I just told her what I was taught and how I was raised and what we believed and what I know from experiencing the death of a parent or the death of someone close to you. You need to believe what you want, and what's going to comfort you. Period.
Mm-hmm.
However, don't let somebody come in here and tell you that you're wrong because nobody knows.
Yeah, we don't know.
Nobody knows.
We like to think we know, but we don't know.
You have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And so I believe I was able to give her comfort in that moment, and that was a win for me because it was something that was it wasn't settling with her because she was like, am I doing the wrong thing? Am I just talking to myself? And then she said that the girl said, those are demons that she's talking to. If she do talk to somebody that she think is her mother, she's talking to demons. And I'm like, how you believe in one side, we don't believe in the other side? We
that part.
Talk to him. Tell him.
Yeah. You think you talking to demons, but you can't talk to an angel? You can talk to the devil, but you can't talk to God? I don't know. She was talking about a mother. Okay. Let's go there. Your mother or grandmother or father or grandfather, they're spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we say they're dead, I mean, they pass from here. If for those Christians, because other religions may think something different. If you're another religion, tell us what you think. When a person passes away or dies or whatever you may call it, put in the comment section, in your religion, according to your religion, what is it that what happens to the person's being or existence or spirit or essence or whatever you want to call it. In Christianity, we believe that even though we die, our existence, we are still in existence. We're just not on this plane. We're just not in the flesh. Our spirit leaves the body. Now, different denominations believe where the spirit goes is different. Mm-hmm. Some people think the spirit goes to heaven. Some people think it goes to hell. Some people say purgatory. Some people say it walks the earth. I'm not going to. That's not the conversation for today. But yeah, her belief. If her belief is that she could still talk to her Also, I want to say this: the spirit and the soul are not the same.
Mm-mm.
And according to what I was taught, I'm not saying I fully believe it, but according to what I was taught, the soul returns to the maker, back from which it came.
The source.
But the spirit walks there. The spirit stays. It has to be judged. So, but whether that's right or wrong, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that that's one of the things I was taught. So some people, I know other people leave because I was taught at a church this. So whatever she thinks it may be, let's get to it. So to continue on and finish this off, she thought she was talking to the spirit, her mother spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the other woman said she's wasting her time, that she's talking to demons.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is exactly what she said. She said, I saw a reel and the girl was saying it's once they're gone, they're gone. They don't visit you. They don't acknowledge the world anymore. You're really talking to demons. She was like, not to be rude, but once they're gone, yeah, there's no point in trying to talk to them. No point in going to their grave site because you're basically talking to yourself or you're talking to demons. It's not them.
Well, okay. Now here's something I would say. This is something I would ask. If we believe that demons, we say demons, what were demons? Weren't demons angels? And they chose the path that's without God.
Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, they're still being.
Right. But they're still here. Mm-hmm. Well, they still exist, or they're somewhere. Now, aren't demons supposed to be judged just like angels? If demons are supposed to be judged just like angels, have they been judged yet? I don't think so, because even during in the Bible, when Christ met the man in the cave, and he said legion with 1,000 demons, there was 1,000 of them in one person, and he said, "Have you?" They said something along the lines of, "Have you came to judge us or torment us before our time?" Which means they have a time frame of which this was going to happen. It wasn't at that time; it's going to be later. And Jesus just said, "Go," and they went into the swine. He permitted them to go into the swine, leave the man and go into the swine. And the swine went to the. But it still don't matter. That means they haven't been judged. That means there's a time frame of something, but they still existed. How is it that you would think a person doesn't exist, but the demons, they just run around and exist? No angels, though. You can't be talking to an angel because, you talking to a demon. Well, how do you know? Are they calling on demon? And a demon would have attributes with it. I mean, demons do unrighteous stuff, right?
Demonic.
Talking and nobody responds, but you just feel better. What if you're just talking to nobody?
And that's fine if it comforts you.
That's fine. It comforts you. But that'd be like saying, when I'm talking to God, he don't exist because he's not here. You're only talking to the demons? You're not talking to anybody else? You can't talk to anybody else? Throughout the Bible, they talk to angels and God. And we know they talk to demons sometimes. So you can talk to any one of them. But to tell somebody that they're talking to something, that seems like you're projecting what you do on somebody else. And then you're trying to strip hope from you. So what if you're a demon?
Uh-oh. Or a demon took hold of you.
Yeah, that's a demon speaking through you, because the Holy Ghost will speak through you. So I think a demon also can too. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, this is assumption. And if that's the case, then that means that you need to take care of, get your house in order. And your house is not necessarily the building; it's your temple. Let that demon take hold.
The beans,
the
Niagara.
Yeah, if it can, and that's another thing I was talking about. This whole wordplay. Mm-hmm. We'll say, when it comes to a demon, we'll say possession, because usually people associate demons and a demon being inside of a person as possession, because it's usually by force. But what if it's by request?
Yeah,
invitation. Is it still possession? The Holy Ghost can do it too, right? If one can do it, don't you think the more powerful one can also do it? So you can be possessed by the Holy Ghost? No, the Holy Ghost don't force itself on you. You have to request it. That's the difference between one and the other.
Well, that's why we have to be of sober mind, because the spirit is literally called spirits.
Yeah.
Alcohol is called spirits.
Yeah.
And that's usually when things go down. Goodness. Just turn it off. Just
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's in the face. The purpose of the episode is about American myth making, but it applies to everything.
Everything.
They tell you the truth in your face, but you still somehow think something else. I'm like, what? They told you.
The Bible says that the pastor or the bishop and the deacon have to live a sober life.
Yeah.
Now, I know some people going to go on Lamentations. And it says alcohol. Is beer considered spirits?
It's fermented.
But is it considered spirits? Nobody ever associated beer with spirits.
No, because it's always beer and spirits.
So you can get drunk and forget your woes of life by drinking, by consuming excessive amounts of beer, right?
Probably. Yeah.
And you're drunk, right? Still similar fashion as the other stuff, right? But why would you drink the other stuff if you can do beer like that? Because it's stronger. It tastes different. I don't like the taste. And blah, blah. I understand.
Somebody
but wine also can do it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is wine considered spirits?
Why do you have a different effect when you drink different types of alcohol? If it's all alcohol.
Well, they made out different things, so they're going to affect the body different.
Well, I understand. I'm talking about the effects of how you feel, because like people would say, jam makes you sin, and that dark liquor. I
think anything that changes your state is a drug. Right. So alcohol, spirits, and all those are drugs. Those are just liquid drugs. Anybody who wishes to change from their sober mind to any other mind you choose, whatever it puts you, whether it be narcotics, whether it be injections of something, weed, if it puts you in a different state of mind than you are naturally in, that's a drug. Time after time, something happens of which was not righteous when you're in that state. Unless you just went home and went to sleep. And that's what Lamentations kind of go after. You're just trying to get away from this stuff, and you're trying to forget the pain and all of that. And you lament and you cry and you crash. And then when it's over, you come back sober and you dust yourself off and try again.
Because if at first you don't succeed.
Right. So that's what we get to when we get, but I'm getting off subject now. We're talking about the spirit, right? Mm-hmm. And that lie, or how what was the topic again?
American myth making.
Myth making. The America. Now we know about this culture, right? This culture really goes on telling us about one way, and it's usually, and it's crazy. A lot of the stuff was built on biblical tenets and biblical scripture and principles and things like that. But they are usually perverted, which is of the devil. It's the description: kill, to steal, kill, and destroy. Right? And the devil perverts the word. He twists it. That's why it's crooked. A crooked nature. I say, when it comes to religion, we have a lot of things that have been perverted and changed slightly, even like you say it right in your face, like this whole gender issue. They pervert words to make it to where they have no more power because you're not using it the same way. They're diluting things. I was thinking about this morning. What is so bad, and why are people so afraid to be husbands, and why? Why are we so quick and so ready to be like, you can be a life partner? Mm-mm. Wife and husband is something that's a treasure. Those are titles and offices of high degree. They're not low. But the world makes it seem like they're a dime a dozen. No, a partner's a dime a dozen. You can get a partner anywhere. When I was growing up, my brother used to say, that's my partner right now. Your partner, this dude, well, I ain't even man, I'm your brother. How do you do your partner? That's your partner. And partners, you drop them, you get more, you drop them, you get more, you grow. Like if you go to school, you got partners, and then all of a sudden you go to no school, you got more partners. Do you have more wives? Mm-hmm. But we'll go through. And in the Bible obviously consider those as high, because you notice it doesn't talk about partners in the 10 Commandments. It does speak about spouses, wives and husbands. And if it says a man that findeth the wife findeth a good thing, why did it separate the wife from all the rest of them?
Right, not a friend, he said.
It didn't say a friend, didn't say a partner, it said a wife. And a wife has traits, attributes, things that you seek. And she made herself ready, so which means it took work to get there. You can be a partner just by existing. I just want to be a part of this thing, but a wife or a husband is something that you must attain yourself and become yourself, and somebody else gain those attributes. They gain those things from you. You have duties, you have roles, you have this, and that's what the world wants us to get away from. By changing the nature and the name of something, you are now a partner. A partner can choose to not do these things or to change whatever it is that he or she must do.
No commitment to that person.
No commitments. You just have, it's a temporary situation. So much so that we had this thing with the whole situation with Jada. What did she call it?
The situation?
Situationship. Start blending words and try to have a word play instead of just saying, yeah, I cheated. It's complicated. It ain't complicated. It's very simple.
That is a whole status.
Yeah. So we have words that we like to blend in and make light of. Can we make light of God? We know it's not his name.
If you want to.
Oh no, right. Be careful. Right.
What about that couple, with a married couple that came back? I was listening to my trap stories. I like to listen to
trap stories.
Wait,
what's a trap story?
It's a trap Bible story. It's a lady online. I have to shout her out later when I find her, but she do trap
stories.
It's good. Animated. She retell stories in a nice and direct way. In a trappish way. And I would say trap, but it's just in a way that young people said. But the story about the married couple that, they had to, turn in their diary, or they had to turn in what they got the land, and they had to turn in everything that it was worth, but they held some of it back, and they came in and they got called out on it. And it was like, this ain't all of it. And yes, it is. And all right, you lie in my face if you want to.
Yeah.
He came in and he got struck dead right there. Then the wife came in and was all like, what's going on? And he gave her a chance to not lie. She lied too. She died right there. They said God don't always wait.
Nope.
They died right there.
That's how the story was told, huh?
That's how it was told.
Okay.
What happened?
No, I'm saying nothing. That's how the story was told.
Well, she said, read it for yourself.
You need to read it for yourself.
You got
to. Don't just take it. But it's entertainment.
Yeah.
It's meant to be entertaining. Yeah.
And it's meant for you to pick it up and be like, this ain't happening. Yes, it did.
Yeah. God was wrong. I don't know why people think God was wrong. Without Jesus, God put it out here for you. Jesus, Yeshua, is out here for us. He came on our behalf. He's mercy. God is grace. He give you chances, but God isn't merciful. That's what Christ is. Christ comes as the mercy side. And God was raw. Stuff will happen. You talking about the scary stuff. That's where God the Father come through. He didn't play. But we get back on the subject. We get on little rambles and tangents, and
we need to have
but we both call what is going on.
Well, no.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna talk. Yeah, we're gonna talk about what are we call what are we coughing off of? It's a lot of people coughing right now, and I'm not saying it's just
it's that mosquito spray.
It's so.
I keep hearing. Have you ever listen?
That truck been coming around here a lot more often.
Listen, they've been promoting it on the radio. I listened to the radio the other day for the first time in a long time, and they were promoting. They said, "Hey, we'll come out to your house and we'll spray your house for mosquitoes." Look, I ain't got bit by a mosquito in about 4 or 5 years.
Have you been outside?
Yes, I've been out.
You gotta
seriously.
You gotta ask. I'm like, have you been outside? Don't be saying I ain't been there. You stay in the house.
You could be going to the car and then you be like, "Damn, mosquito bit me," and you be itching. I ain't been bit by a mosquito in years, and my thing is, you do get bit. I get more bit by ants. Like mosquito, where mosquitoes at? Mosquitoes have purpose, even though we don't like them. You know what I'm saying? We don't like a lot of stuff, but they have purpose, and nature will eliminate that problem once it's time. You know what I'm saying? That's what God did. He
got a lot of dragonflies.
But he made everything for whatever the reason is. We might not even understand it. We just know that we don't like them. But now you done went and killed all of them. It's like the bees and stuff. It's like, we need the bees. Like, y'all chill out. Don't be trying to kill everything.
Listen,
just because you don't like them.
Okay, and that's where we come back to this whole thing. A lot of people don't know. I was talking about this yesterday or day before at the supermarket, Publix. I was in the produce, and I was talking about just introducing a person that works in produce didn't know a little bit more than I knew a little bit more on certain subjects about certain produce than she did. So I was just telling her, I'm like, start telling her about the oranges and things like that. And I was like, back in the day, it was hard for me to believe that people would just go hungry. You have homeless people, but to me, it was hard to be hungry. And how is it that this country, land of the free, home of the brave, the richest one, how we have so many hungry people? And it's because, well, we know about the time when I have to say allegedly because, I don't have the proof right here, about them destroying our fruit trees purposely. A lot of the female trees, if you can call them female trees, a lot of fruit-bearing trees were destroyed. If you come down to the South, especially Southeast United States, you have a lot of pollen. It's real heavy on pollen. And pollen is building up, and the pollen it's not being captured. It's not being the bees were going. We talking about the decrease in bees. Well, there's a lot of decrease in pollinating flowers. A lot of fruit-bearing trees have flowers, which need to be pollinated. But without the flowers, there's a lot of trees, but they're producing a lot of pollen, but not a lot of flowers and not a lot of bees to use the pollen to fertilize the flowers. So we have a lot of people breathing in a lot of pollen, having an allergic reaction. They have allergies all through all the seasons, not just during spring or fall. Like spring would come up, you talk about hay fever and stuff like that. All year long, they sneezing and coughing. Then we talk about the whole aerosols in the air from the airlines dropping stuff, and from the, as you say, mosquito trucks and stuff like that. Those things are throughout this whole area. Well, a lot of the trees are now been taken away. So why would you take away fruit-bearing trees? You want to take away the ability to feed yourself for free. You want to control something. So I'm going to create an atmosphere to where the only way you eat is by eating what we produce, and we charge you for it. I'm going to make you eat. I'm going to destroy your crop. I'm going to create something to where and now we're going to contaminate the soil to where it's going to be even hard for you. We're going to take away the seeds also. You notice all these hybrids and plants have no seeds. So even if you want to get it, it's getting harder and harder to find fruit and anything else with seeds because everybody wants seedless. Well, it's easier to eat. No, it's a hybrid. It's actually less nutrient, right? It doesn't have since it's a hybrid, our bodies won't respond to it like it did before. So a lot of these things are not even the original form. So a lot of our bodies are allergic to it, and we have to go and get this type of drug or something because we can't digest the food properly because it doesn't recognize it as the food that it was. All of these things are being created against us, yet they're being given to us as if it's something that we should want and desire. It's not the same thing. You can have a healthy life. I eat fruit and vegetables all the time. Yeah, but most of those are hybrids and they're seedless, so they really don't have the same nutrients. And also, most people don't understand and don't remember, even in the Bible, you're supposed to eat the seeds too. So the seeds have a lot of those cancer fighting abilities and those disease fighting abilities in the seed, but we don't even have the seeds. Why? They took away the seeds, so we have to go get their medicine.
Listen, it's in your face. It's in your face. I started talking about something else, and then it led us right here. In the 1950s,
okay,
DeCarlo, 50s, all kind of stuff was happening in the 50s, 60s, 70s. In the 50s, the USDA, Yearbook of Agriculture, which was a reference tool, advised its readers and the farmers and all the stuff to plant only male trees.
Oh, there we go.
To avoid nuisance from the seed.
Nuisance from the seed.
You can't make this stuff up.
That's what I was talking about. I didn't know the exact time, but thank you. Bring that.
The thought behind that was that the female trees aren't litter free because they produce fruit and stuff, and people didn't want to clean them up. So they have a botanical sexism that started, that they promoted. The government promoted it. So if you go to your city and stuff like that, make sure, y'all, this is the action for y'all. Ask your city leaders and stuff, what's your tree policy? When y'all plant trees, are you planting male and female trees, or are you just planting male trees? Because if you're only planting male trees, that's why y'all coughing. This pollen and the asthma and stuff, you can't breathe.
They filter out your air.
It's gonna make it inhabitable. You're not gonna be able to breathe, and everybody keeps going to what? The allergy shots. It's all a ploy to get you on something, which y'all take Claritin, all this stuff is not good for you. You start pumping your kids full of that stuff. That's why almost everybody I know got some kind of form of respiratory issue.
Yeah.
Because of the daggone trees.
Yep. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm gone. The episode over.
Yeah.
We
on purpose. On purpose.
Because they don't want to clean up.
It's not, you know what? It's not even really clean. Here's the deal. Clean what up? The fruit? Eat it. Look, when I was a kid, leave this in the comment. If you had a lifestyle or you did these things as a kid, what did you do as a kid as far as fruit bearing trees? What did you eat? When I used to walk around when I was younger, I saw plum trees, blackberry. If you find, even if you say it's hard to find, most of the time you can just go in any field and find blackberries. But if it's hard for you to find a railroad track. Railroad tracks, walk along railroad tracks, you're going to find blackberries. I saw pear trees, apple trees. I saw pecan trees, right? And being that these things were just around, we can just pick them and eat them. Now, that means that it was hard to say you can go hungry. You just walked. Most people had pecan trees, especially down in the South. I'm originally from Texas, so we had pecan trees all over the place. And you can go in somebody's yard, and the rule was, it's a unwritten rule, but everybody knew it. You go in a pecan tree, you go in a pecan field. I mean, you go in somebody, you see a pecan tree. All you do is walk around. Even if it wasn't in your yard, you just walk around, and you see somebody who have a big pecan tree in their yard. And you go knock on the door. Hey, can we pick pecans? They say, go ahead. Now, the rule is, if they say yes, and this is how you keep, communication, and this is with the whole friendship and community, you always pick the owner a bag too. You never just go and pick pecans and you just leave. You pick the pecan, however much you pick, you split it. If you're gonna pick 4 bags of pecans, you need at least 2 bags for the owners. Why? Because they're gonna most likely let you come back, and you don't wear your welcome. Because if you pick your pecans and you leave, you ain't picked them none, don't ask to come back in their yard. Now you may have helped them clean up the yard, because picking pecans help people clean up the yard. They mow their grass, they don't want to be slinging pecans all over the place, right? Or raking them up. But pecans were all over the place. Plums, we had shirts full of plums, just green. It didn't matter what state they're in. We ate them all the time, and it was hard. Sometimes they'd jump in somebody's yard and go get it. You can get shot for that stuff. You reach over the fence and try to pick that plum or whatever. But there were food all over the place. Now it's hard to find. We had honeysuckles. If you just want a little bit of sugar or whatever. But there was some source of nutrients around that was just outside. It was just out there. And you said 1950s. Now, when I was younger, this is the 80s. It wasn't that many. When you say it now, I'm like, no wonder it went, because I've heard from older people, they were all over the place, everywhere. Now, when I was younger, they were there. You just knew where they were. I mean, we would go on the trail, or we would go in, the park, or walk along neighborhoods and along, fence lines. And if it was hanging over, you pick it.
Yeah, my mother,
and sometimes in the middle thing, which are like the median of some roads, it depends on how big it was. If they had certain trees there, they would be fruit trees, like
those
plum
were
trees.
probably intentionally put there.
Yeah.
My family, my grandmother, the family home, they had a pecan tree in the backyard, and all of the kids, she had 9, all of them, that they never. When I talked to all of them except one, because one passed away before I was born, but all of them, nobody ever talked about being hungry. And these was, they were born in the 40s and the 50s and stuff. They never talked about being hungry ever, because they always could go in the backyard and go just. And it spanned out until my childhood. When I was a child growing up, because my mom's house was next door to my grandmother's house, we would eat pecans. That was what we ate as a kid. I remember getting pecans, picking them up just out there in the yard. Ooh, and I had my little nutcracker thing.
Yeah, we used to have a gas fireplace, and I used to crack them open, pecans, and put them on this little plate because it's hot, and roast my little pecans.
Chestnuts roasting on open fire.
I'm a chef up in here. I look here. I'm 3 or 4 years old.
You was doing it though.
Yeah. So I like to play with fire.
Okay. Some arson.
Oh, I don't.
I know. I'm just joking.
I ain't never did nothing like that. No violence or no, doing it. But it was always controlled fire. Somebody, the bonfire or the fireplace. I'll do it. I got it. No, I got it. Trust me. I'm gonna get this thing hot.
You're like, I did that.
But yeah, so that's sitting in your face. Or we talk about even clothing. They started using a lot of synthetic things instead of using cotton. I thought cotton was the biggest commodity, right?
They ain't have us to pick. Oh, no, let me stop. Let me stop.
Don't do that.
They ran out of labor.
Like, but they still, but in the South, you can still see cotton fields around. So they still got them. They got machines to do it. We still can use cotton.
Yeah.
But they start using a lot more polyester, nylon, and all these synthetic materials to make worse clothing. Truth be told, those things. I mean, I guess they're cheaper, but you could tell. Anyway, what else you got? What else you got? Because see, we don't went way
16, but that's how it be sometimes. Because the stuff be when somebody say something or I see something, I be like, ooh, usually I'll call you, but if I can't, I'll be like, we finna talk about this on the threshold.
Yeah. So, the power of national myths, freedom, equality, and the self-made ideal, right? What's the difference in our history and the lived reality? I know in the history books they like to tell this whole what do you call it? Critical race theory. Yeah. When it was first brought up, I didn't understand why did they say that. The thing is, in Texas, we learned a lot about slavery, and I heard that other states didn't really teach that much about it. It's like different states would teach you a little bit more or a little bit less about what happened in during slavery or before slavery or even after in much detail or a little bit of detail. It depends on what state you're being taught in. A lot of the more highly, I guess you could say, states that openly employ racial prejudices, tend to not care. And they had pride in, like Texas, they had pride in letting you know that you were a slave. They had pride in letting you know that what happened during the Jim Crow era.
Because it made them more superior, because they were like, this is what my ancestors their ancestors were able to do to yours, because natural selection, but the natural selection has nothing to do with the choices that you make. It's more so to do with your natural abilities to ward off disease and infection and procreate and things like that. That's what natural selection is, not because you decided that you wanted to kill everybody that came in your way.
Natural selection points to the very thing that you said. You said natural selection, not a forced thing.
Yeah, it's not forced.
If you have to force it, it's no longer natural selection.
Just you got to create acts to remove individuals from their land. You have to kill people. You have to come in with your disease and rid people of their own where they live. That's not natural selection.
Yeah, and the whole freedoms thing. It's apparent that most of the time they were talking to themselves and not speaking for everybody else. We keep saying that we weren't included in the Constitution. It wasn't made for us. And when I say us, I'm talking about Black Americans or African Americans, whatever you want to call yourself. And we know this because why is it that even still in 2026, we're still trying to figure out how to make sure we vote? How is it that we still have to figure out if we have the right to vote? I'm talking about as a race. They still, what was it? They said something was expiring. How do you expire on something that's set? That's crazy, because we got some other laws that are set that nobody operates in because nobody employs them, that we didn't even know that it allowed people to do. And nobody's arguing about making sure that those expire and get out of our face. Like, how is it that in some how is it that in some states you're allowed to marry an animal?
Yeah.
Who put that in your Constitution?
Somebody.
Who said, well, yeah, we need to make sure that this is a law that allows us to do such a thing?
How did it get there?
How did it get there?
Wait a minute.
Who printed that out and wrote that in there? Like, what do you mean? How? But you have it to where right now that's not really laws. They made laws, and they made them, some of them more recent. And if you say something against somebody else, even though you're supposed to have a freedom of speech, that you can be canceled, you can be, your life could be ruined. You can even be in prison if you say something against certain groups, not all. Mm-hmm. It's just certain ones. And these could be the ones that actually been treated better in the country than everybody else. But the ones that haven't been treated better, you can say anything about them. We was talking about the other day, how is it that on certain platforms you can say this word, but you can't say that word on another platform? But you can say it, and that's about one group. But if you say something about another group, same word or similar word in another group, you can't say that. But on another group, you can say everything about that group. You can say all the words, and it's supposed to, and these are the most offensive terms that you could think of, but you can say it. It doesn't matter. They make rules for one group, and they make sure that they exclude from another group. But they want to say equal. There's nothing equal. Today, there's nothing equal today. How is it that why is it that if the police are called and both parties say, male and female, both parties say, he did it, she did it, both parties have bruises, or neither party have bruises, but they're both equal in what we see as evidence. Both of them say their story is the other one did it, but the man's the one that's going to be arrested and taken in, and the woman can be sitting there. That's not equal. Take both of them or take none of them. If you did an investigation and you can't prove that anyone did anything, then don't take them.
You should leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Firsthand.
Or take both of them.
And then let them work it out later on. I mean, you're supposed to just diffuse the situation and make sure that nobody gets hurt. Once the threat is gone and once the situation has been neutralized, you can go home. And it's always their intent is to take somebody to jail. And that's not, you're not supposed to come out there with the intent of killing or hurting or taking somebody to jail.
Right.
Why is that? That's your initial thought. Like, oh, okay, we're gonna figure this out. They say we're gonna figure this out in court. No, you're figuring it out right now because you're taking me in and you're charging me with something that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yep.
Came in here late.
And police officers, they don't really investigate anything.
They be trying to act like they're investigating, but they're
just
not.
Come up and assume something without doing any real investigation. They don't even listen to people most of the time. You try to tell them, I want control of the situation and the atmosphere, and then I'm going to ask the questions. And here's what I hate about it: police officers is not the law. You are enforcers of the law. You are not the law. This is why you keep moving in a way that which you are above the law, or it doesn't matter to you because you say, I'm the law. You are not the law. You are an enforcer of the law. And that attitude can help people, both officers and people, to not be so critical and not encroach on their rights so quickly, right? Because if you're an enforcer of the law, then when you came because there was a law broken. To me, if there's no law broken, you're not operating in the capacity of a law enforcer because there's no law broken. Now you're operating as a citizen with a uniform on and a gun. Because I could walk up the same way as a citizen with a uniform on and a gun and say this, say do and move the same way you do, but without the badge or the authority to be an enforcer of the law. I will be the same way as you. I can say the same words. I can arrest, have cuffs on wrist, but without that authority, that's what separates you from me. The authority to enforce the law. You are not the law, though. And if we get these types of police officers in check, or don't even allow them to move around as freely, the trust of people would increase with police officers when they're called, and they'll believe police officers when they come and they know they're going to move in the way they should. I'm not saying come up there and just let people do what they want to, because obviously you were called because there was some sort of stuff that was out of order.
Yeah.
And
somebody called him.
Yeah, take control of the disorder so you can find out what kind of law was broken. But just arresting people left and right without, because you got an attitude, hey, that's not good enough. That's not against the law.
And y'all ain't got nothing to do anyway but to preserve and protect. So whenever diffuse the situation, go sit in your car for a couple minutes and just watch them. Make sure everybody go home.
Because we know all you got to do is have a car sitting there.
Yeah, and people usually disperse.
And the people who actually at least have some sort of civility about them, they usually ain't finna do nothing, especially if a cop is sitting right there.
Put some music on, then people think it's a block party.
Right. And they'll invite
bring
you
some
too.
Food. Why the police don't bring food with them? I'm finna put that in my request. Sheriff Aiden, bring some food. I got money.
You got that money. And you could have brought a couple of...
Hey, we got a call on... You want something? You want something? I'm bringing food.
Bring some brisket, man. Bring some brisket. That's what I'm
talking about meals. Just bring some snacks.
I mean, but they have the community thing with the hot dogs.
They don't bring food. Like no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you go into a call, somebody is getting beat up.
You want them to have food in the car?
Yeah, be like,
what? They gonna be driving around with food in the
Snicker
car?
bars.
Give it to who?
The person who is fighting.
Wait, you expended your energy fighting? Hey, man, let me replenish your energy real quick. Nah, they don't want to do that.
Snicker bar. Sometimes you just be hungry.
Not going anywhere for a while.
Hungry? Why wait?
Wow.
A lot of times people be hungry.
That's crazy. That's why they fighting, because they hungry?
Yeah.
Because you took away their fruit trees.
It all come together.
Because you took away their fruit trees. It's one big circle, the circle of life.
That's it. Starts with the male trees.
Right. But they're not even trying to be critical. Yeah, I believe that's one of the ways to work on
and community relations. You ain't got to entice me with some hamburgers and some hot dogs. I might not even eat pork or beef. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that don't do nothing for me. I don't want processed food. Just bring me some fruit. And while you sitting here trying to tell me what happened, tell me what's going on. We finna eat a sumo.
You know what? Ooh,
What's going on?
They do that in the interrogation room. They will offer you
food,
some food.
We need that before that point.
Yeah, before you even get back to the police department or the jail.
They be like, dog, this orange is good. So what happened was
right. No, look, no, man, she was over there doing, and then a dude over there, I saw him. Look, I saw him. He was, it's good. Where'd you get that from?
Sumo.
Right. But you know the whole quality or equality thing. To throw in a little biblical stuff in there. Solomon.
All right. What?
Solomon. The two harlots who one of the harlots slept on their baby and it died, and she wanted and the other one had a baby also, and they took it before King Solomon because both of them were claiming that was their child because the other one slept on her baby and it died. And so Solomon said, equality. He said, well, split it. We're going to cut the baby in half, give you a half of the baby, and the other one will get a half of the baby. And the mother said, no, I'd rather you keep the baby together. And the other one said, that's fair. Split it in half. So Solomon gave it to the one that said, no, we're not going to split it because that's our mother. You wanted me to split a baby in half. Are you crazy? And so the whole equality thing, and why I mentioned that is quality, because he didn't go in thinking that one was telling a lie. One, you can't tell, you don't know which one was. So I'm like, okay, well, let's split in half and we'll get both of you will get justice. Of one of you, where the real mother is not the one who died, and the mother who died is going to be treated like the mother whose child died is going to be treated just the same, equal as the mother whose child did not die. But he was doing that to find out which one was actually the mother of the child right there, because the mother of that child don't want that child to die. That's so you find out. Oh, okay, I got you now. So take your son. Get out of my face. But it wasn't just I'm gonna come and take both of y'all. No, I'm gonna come and take one and not the other. No, treat both of them the same. Until you know the difference, how can you tell? And that's not me going in with the talking about the nation or the topic at hand. This is me getting on like this is what the investigation is supposed to be. Find out who, and if you can't, you got to find out another way. This is where the investigations comes in. And those who are not good at finding this stuff out, you're not an investigator. Okay, don't be out there trying to enforce laws. You need to sit back and let the investigation happen, and then you come in when we got the guilty part. I got you, Boosie.
We didn't hear about Boosie going online. Some lady said that he raped her when she was 5.
Oh,
and he was like, "Man, don't lie on me like that." And everybody's all like, "Man, you didn't do that, dog." But anyway, we can't put nothing past nobody. But yeah, people just be saying anything to get attention.
Clout.
But yeah, so he's saying, "Man, I ain't do that." And he's like, "I give anybody $1,000 if they give me this girl information. Like, let me know something about her so I can serve her papers." But everybody's all like, hold on now, Boosie, hold on. We know you got a history of sending them YNs.
I don't do that.
I'm gonna need you to calm down. Let your lawyer handle that. Let them investigate.
He trying to get it.
Then he came back on you like, "I found her, y'all." Sir, you better hope she know nothing happened to her.
I know, because then it's gonna be, yeah.
She'll do something to herself just saying that he did it. I'm like, you don't want them problems. See, this is why people they need PR so bad.
Yeah,
they need people to shut their phone off.
You need that friend.
Yeah,
you need that friend that's there. It's like, hey, no, don't do that, man. Yeah. Hey, what you doing?
I love you.
Check me.
Hey, tell me, talk to me about it. But I need them to know that it don't matter, because it don't matter what you say. Somebody was on there on the comment was like, "You see how he wasn't looking in the camera when he was talking? Girl, he mad." Everybody said, "We know he ain't lying because he wasn't going off." Like, everybody know he got anger management issues.
We know.
So he was calm. He was all like, "Look, I'm just gonna give $1,000 to somebody to give me that girl information," because he's trying to end it before it, cease and desist, for defamation. Can't serve nobody if you don't know who they are.
Right.
Yeah. So don't hide behind the shadows and just be doing.
Now you say that with so many essay allegations.
You got to say something.
No, where I'm going with is, why is it that the person that have proclaimed themselves as the victim are never identified?
Because they
but the person
yeah.
but the person who is alleged to be the suspect is always identified.
Yep. And when they're vindicated at the end, they don't retract.
You still don't let us know. They're starting to, but it's so slow.
You still
and
already
it's hard.
lost your job at this point.
And that person doesn't really get the same consequences, because all you have to do is say, especially when it comes to a man, all you have to do is say that he did something, and stuff start happening. Before Shannon Sharp lost his contract, well, actually, Shannon Sharp lost his contract when it was alleged.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if he did it. Well, we didn't. We didn't know if he did it. What are you doing?
I was trying to turn my phone on and then off, so I turned it off. What are you talking about? Your boy. Oh wow, what was that?
Yeah, it's a record scratch.
That's my bad.
Yeah. Anyway, it was late. Anyway, but what I'm saying is, it was alleged at the time.
Yeah.
And there was others. We just heard that it's happened, and all of a sudden you lose everything. And people separate themselves from it because they're scared.
Yeah.
They're gone. And then you get, like you said, vindicated that it wasn't
get those
true.
Contracts back.
I'm not saying it's Shannon Sharp, because some people pay and just have it gone. We have evidence. No, you didn't have evidence at first. You just assumed that it was exactly what it was, because you're gonna judge these people differently and not equal. And sometimes it just happens. And now, even with the ones that are innocent, they end up getting treated as guilty parties. The guy who, I can't remember his name. I think his name is Nathan or something.
Nathan.
He did did Nat Turner movie, The Birth of a Nation.
Jonathan Majors.
No, that's not Jonathan Majors. It was another guy. But he was vindicated. Everything was taken. They dropped all charges. He still was blackballed or whatever you call it, blacklisted. Yeah, he couldn't. And the movie, people didn't even go watch it, even though he had the finances himself. I think something like that. But his career was hurt. You don't see him, but Jonathan Majors come after or during that time, also going with the more public thing with the girl out in the street, the videos and all that. And now he's back into stuff. They're picking him back up. But the other guy, it's hard to get him in, film. And they both, to me, were similar in their acting style and the film and the parts they were actually, portraying.
Yeah, I see his face. He ain't got a big nose, but the other one. I get him and Jonathan.
He ain't got a big nose.
Jonathan Majors got the big nose, and then the other dude,
he got a nose.
You're talking about
his nose. I mean, this Africanized features. I mean,
I just say big nose.
It's the big nose.
When you look at that man, you be like, dog.
That's what you saw his nose.
Yeah, just like if somebody look at my head, they be like, "Nah, she got a big head." It's not hidden.
You want the camera to show you?
No, not right now. I don't care. Shoot. Let me preface all of this to say thank y'all for listening to us, because we going on. They be like, "Where are we going with this?" It doesn't matter. This is a safe space for people to express themselves. And if you want to jump in the comments, if you want to be a guest on the show, call in or type in,
right.
But and say, hey, I want to talk about this, and we'll bring you on. The main purpose of this is for practical perspective on what could be biblical things, or just things that society has deemed as the truth, and we're questioning it. It could still be true to you, but that's it's a subjective versus objective. So we're trying to make sure we have that conversation, because a lot of times you just agree with something and you don't really agree with it. You just believed it because it was told to you.
Yes.
And so we gotta be like, just like the trees and stuff. It's all like, wait a minute, maybe that's why I've been sick this whole time. The whole time.
Right.
And we stumbled upon that just because we started talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how things get done, is you talk about it, then you be about it.
Yeah. And the one of the problems is some people fear talking about it, or they don't know how to have the conversation, which is why, I want to, I'm going to open the door for people to be a guest on the show. If you have topics you want to talk about, we can just talk about you. We can talk about, we have topics lined up. We still have things we want to get through. But we're trying to develop more content, on a daily and weekly measure. But it's better to have a conversation with somebody else when you have dialogue instead of monologues. We do have myself and Ali the PR, but to get more people on is to get more perspective and, more direction on what we think, because we don't know everything. We just have our own perspective, and our scopes are small when you think of the individual. But once you start increasing on collective thought, whether it be an agreement or opinion, we have more things that more direction that agrees with you. You may have that one nugget, that one thing that's I never thought about that. So send in information and put it in content. I can't even get my words. I'm starting to stammer.
Well, no, what I was saying, trying to add on to that, is that what I enjoy about what you're doing with the Threshold Agenda, and just in general, is how you don't want the same ideas and the same the same thing, just to keep. You don't want people to everybody agree, and I think that people don't want to hear the opposite side. Excuse me. Okay, see, the devil didn't want me to say that.
Yeah. And you struggling too. Yeah, now don't get me wrong. I would love for everybody to be in agreement.
Yes, at least, but you still got to start somewhere.
In order to, not at the cost of not hearing the opposition, or hearing the other idea or the other thought process.
Because they've been through it too.
Because there's always something more that we're missing, and we won't get it if we close ourselves to only those who have the same ideas we do, or who speak the same way we do, or give the same answer. Sometimes you got to go outside.
Yeah.
To think race.
Mm-hmm.
Race is one of those hot topics that is controversial all the time, and I believe that if we speak on race honestly, and actually being understanding about the other races, or the other nationalities, or the other cultures, or the other religions, or the other walks of life in their professions and things like that, you may actually find out something that you thought you knew. But somebody has perfected or experienced a little bit more than you did.
Mm-hmm.
There's always, as we always say, you meet crazy. You're crazy until you meet crazy.
That part. Meet your match.
Yeah, then you find out, I thought I was crazy. No, you crazy.
That's that Sherlock Holmes. They were looking at you like, you might be crazier than me. Okay.
Yeah. You meet somebody crazier, who was it? What was his name? A subcomedian said, everybody think they Billy Bad A until they meet Billy Bad A, and you find out you good at math. Then Billy Bad A whipped that butt, and then you find out you good at math. You thought you was the bad one.
Even the bully got the bully. Like
the bully got a bully.
The bully got their daddy that they scared of. Everybody's scared of something, fearful of something that they will not contest.
Yeah.
Whether it be your mama or whatever. Somebody got
somebody. That's fear.
And so, it's healthy.
And so, yeah, the threshold agendas I want, why I call it threshold agenda. I said it before, is that you want to cross over into somewhere who you don't normally cross over to, which is why I want those type of people to actually show up. And we're going to get those type of guests on here to talk about topics that normally you don't hear in your regular conversation. You probably never thought of, might even thought you didn't even want to hear about until you hear it here. And then all of a sudden it's like, man, that was stupid. I'll be like, you know what? I appreciate this conversation. I've never heard that before, and that's what we want to do. So anyway, thank you everybody for joining us today. This is G Chromosome and my guest, Allie the PR.
Hey.
Bidding you an adieu.
Night.
Yeah. Night, and be blessed.